I'm a man, and this is a story that is told through the lens of a woman.
The drama no one saw coming. Picture this: Hollywood's queen of wit and perfect hair.
They won the Stanley Cup.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Blake Lively and her superstar husband, Ryan Reynolds, teaming up with none other than Taylor Swift. Sounds like a dream team, right? Now add in Justin Baldoni, the guy who's practically the face of heartfelt romantic dramas, and suddenly this dream team becomes the center of one of the most explosive Hollywood scandals in recent years.
Frame up on the Sebastian on you. Yeah. We'll just do like our lips are right next to each other.
Yeah, got you.
It's got everything: shocking allegations, leaked voice recordings, a $400 million lawsuit, and enough behind-the-scenes drama to rival any blockbuster. So, who's the villain here? Is Blake Lively the mastermind behind a career takedown? Or is Justin Baldoni the victim of a Hollywood power play gone horribly wrong?
It's like, oh my god, I forgot to tell you something else.
I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
Get comfy, because this tea is piping hot and we're about to spill every last drop. Where did it all begin? Every great scandal has an origin story, and this one starts on the set of a film that Justin Baldoni directed and Blake Lively starred in.
And then let's just do one almost like super close.
Yeah.
Can you guys?
At first, it seemed like a perfect collaboration. Justin, known for his emotionally charged films, was working with Blake, a Hollywood A-lister with a knack for delivering charm and depth on screen. But things took a dark turn when Blake accused Justin of unprofessional behavior. Specifically, she claimed he improvised intimate scenes without warning, leaving her blindsided and uncomfortable.
I wanted to make sure that those scenes had a female gaze.
On the surface, this accusation painted Justin in a bad light, an abuse of creative power, perhaps. But like any good Hollywood drama, there's more to this story than meets the eye. So what are the receipts that changed everything?
And especially when it relates to intimacy scenes and to scenes where there is a mix of intimacy and violence.
Enter the leaked evidence. In Hollywood, it seems no one ever learned the importance of deleting text messages or voice memos because these receipts turned the narrative upside down. Texts and recordings surfaced, suggesting that Blake might not have been as innocent as she claimed. In fact, these leaks revealed that Blake had allegedly been bypassing intimacy coordinators, taking control of how scenes were shot, and even improvising on her own terms. A video clip even showed her directing scenes, contradicting her claims of being blindsided. At this point, the internet was ablaze with debates. Was Blake's initial accusation a strategic move to deflect attention from her own actions, or was this just a messy misunderstanding? Regardless, these receipts set the stage for a much bigger battle. Was the battle for creative control a factor? Now, let's talk about creative control, Hollywood's favorite excuse for behind-the-scenes feuds. According to Justin, Blake wasn't content just acting in the film. She wanted a say in everything, from how scenes were edited to which cuts made the final version. Justin, being the film's director, wasn't on board with this idea. He reportedly told Blake she could give feedback after the initial edits were complete, but that wasn't good enough for her. Blake allegedly pulled some serious strings, involving Sony executives and leveraging her connections to gain control over the project. And this is where Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift come into the picture. Rumor has it that they joined forces to back Blake, creating what some have called a Hollywood power alliance. With Blake's influence, Ryan's charisma, and Taylor's star power, the scales were tipping heavily in Blake's favor. But the drama didn't stop there. Justin thought he had a loyal ally in Colleen Hoover, the best-selling author of the book his movie was based on. Initially, Colleen was singing Justin's praises, excited to see her story come to life on the big screen. Then, out of nowhere, Colleen switched sides, publicly supporting Blake instead. This sudden shift raised eyebrows. Did Blake promise her something in return? A cameo in a future project? An exclusive invite to Hollywood's biggest events? No one knows for sure, but it was clear that Justin was losing allies fast. This betrayal was a turning point for Justin, who reportedly felt blindsided by the people he trusted. His dream project was turning into a nightmare, with collaborators and executives seemingly abandoning him one by one. Justin Baldoni initially believed he had a strong ally in Colleen Hoover, the author of the book his film was based on. She had been supportive throughout the project, publicly praising Justin and his vision. However, things took a surprising turn when Blake Lively reportedly stepped in. Suddenly, Colleen appeared to back Blake, creating a noticeable shift in alliances. Speculation swirled about what prompted this change. Did Blake offer Colleen an incentive, such as promises of connections or opportunities in Hollywood? Whatever the reason, Justin found himself increasingly isolated, with Colleen seemingly siding with Blake's vision for the project. This sudden shift in loyalty felt like a betrayal to Justin, who described it as being left in the dark while his collaborators rallied around Blake. It was another reminder of how quickly allegiances can change in Hollywood, where power dynamics and influence often take precedence over loyalty. As the drama unfolded, one term began to emerge from the whispers surrounding the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni controversy: gaslighting. But was it truly a case of calculated manipulation, or was it a series of miscommunications blown out of proportion? Either way, the private interactions between Blake and Justin became a focal point, offering a glimpse into a relationship that was anything but straightforward. So, what happens when mutual respect turns to subtle undermining? In the beginning, things seemed cordial, even collaborative. Private messages between Blake and Justin showed mutual respect and encouragement. Blake reportedly praised Justin's work, complimenting his directorial vision and dedication. Justin, in turn, expressed admiration for Blake's talent, calling her a consummate professional and someone he deeply valued as both an actor and a collaborator. But as tensions rose, the tone of their interactions shifted. Blake's once supportive messages took on a more ambiguous tone, leaving Justin questioning her intentions. For instance, she would reportedly text him things like, "Great work today," or "You're so talented, I trust you completely," while simultaneously expressing concerns about his decisions to the studio executives and other collaborators. To Justin, this felt like a calculated move, a way to publicly maintain the appearance of camaraderie while privately undermining his authority. It was as though Blake was playing two roles, a supportive teammate to his face and a quiet critic behind the scenes. But is it professional gaslighting at its finest? This behavior led to accusations of professional gaslighting, a term used to describe when someone subtly manipulates another person into doubting their own perceptions or decisions. Justin reportedly felt blindsided by Blake's duality, describing moments where her private messages were at odds with her public statements. For example, while Blake was allegedly encouraging Justin in their private conversations, she was also meeting with studio executives and expressing concerns about his creative vision. One insider claimed that Blake would frame her feedback as helpful advice, but in reality, it created doubt about Justin's ability to lead the project. In one instance, Blake reportedly praised Justin's editing work, saying, "I know this will be amazing. You always deliver." Yet behind the scenes, she was allegedly lobbying the studio for more control over the editing process, insisting that her vision was being ignored. To Justin, this felt like a betrayal, and it left him questioning whether her earlier compliments were genuine or just part of a larger strategy. Is it a game of mixed signals, though? What made this dynamic even more confusing was the way Blake balanced her public and private personas. Publicly, she was all smiles and professionalism, frequently praising Justin in interviews and on social media. She described him as dedicated, innovative, and even a joy to work with. Privately, however, her messages reportedly became increasingly critical. In one text exchange, Blake allegedly expressed frustration over the direction of certain scenes, hinting that she wasn't being heard. "I feel like there's a disconnect between what we talked about and what's happening on screen," she wrote, according to one source. These mixed signals created a toxic environment, with Justin left wondering which version of Blake he was truly dealing with. Was she the supportive collaborator she appeared to be in public? Or was she the behind-the-scenes critic who seemed intent on reshaping the project to her liking? But what happens when praise turns into pressure? Another layer of complexity came from the way Blake's compliments often felt like double-edged swords. While she frequently praised Justin's talent, those compliments were sometimes accompanied by subtle critiques that seemed to diminish his authority. For instance, Blake reportedly said, "You're so talented, but I think you'd benefit from being more open to input from others. It's all about collaboration, right?" On the surface, this seemed like constructive feedback, but to Justin, it felt like a veiled attempt to challenge his decisions and position herself as the one truly in control. This dynamic created an environment where Justin felt increasingly isolated. Every decision he made was second-guessed, every choice scrutinized. And the more he tried to assert his authority, the more Blake's subtle critiques chipped away at his confidence. What is the public perception versus private reality like? Perhaps the most striking aspect of this alleged gaslighting was how effectively Blake managed to maintain her public image. Even as tensions behind the scenes reached a boiling point, she continued to present herself as the picture of professionalism. Interviews and public appearances painted a picture of a harmonious working relationship. Blake often spoke glowingly about Justin, praising his vision and dedication to storytelling. To the outside world, it seemed like the two were a dream team, united by their shared passion for the project. But behind closed doors, the story was very different. Justin reportedly felt like he was being undermined at every turn, with Blake's public praise contrasting sharply with her private behavior. This duality left him feeling trapped, unable to speak out without risking further damage to his reputation, but increasingly aware that the narrative was slipping out of his control. Is it miscommunication or mastermind? Of course, it's worth considering the possibility that this wasn't gaslighting at all, but rather a case of miscommunication. With two strong-willed individuals working on a high-stakes project, it's not surprising that disagreements would arise. Perhaps Blake's intentions were genuine and her actions were simply misinterpreted in the heat of the moment. Blake's supporters argue that she was merely trying to ensure the best possible outcome for the film, using her influence to advocate for what she believed was right. They see her actions not as manipulative, but as assertive, proof that she wasn't afraid to stand up for her vision, even in the face of resistance. On the other hand, Justin's supporters believe that her behavior went far beyond mere advocacy. To them, Blake's actions represent a calculated effort to diminish Justin's authority and position herself as the true creative force behind the project. Ultimately, the question comes down to intent. Was Blake genuinely trying to collaborate and improve the film, or was she using her influence to reshape the project in her own image, regardless of the impact on Justin? Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. The dynamic between Blake and Justin was anything but straightforward. Their interactions, filled with mixed signals and subtle power plays, have become a cautionary tale about the complexities of collaboration in Hollywood. And as the dust continues to settle, the debate rages on. Was this a case of professional gaslighting or just a series of miscommunications magnified by the high-pressure world of filmmaking? For now, the answer remains as murky as the drama itself. Stay tuned with Peak.